Thank you very much, Judith. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I don't want to bum you all out, but I just want you to know that trouble has followed me around my whole life. I mean, it started out the day I was born. The doctor didn't really know which end to slap. My dad, he didn't care. When I was learning to walk, he bent over and said, "Come here, Jim. Come to Papa." The problem was he was across the street. It was tough growing up. My first words were, "Oh, geez, it's awake." Being a toddler wasn't easy. But my mom, she tried to help. She encouraged me to participate in sports. She always left the gates of the swimming pool open. She was always trying to expand my horizons, too. She let me play with the boa constrictor. When I was 3, she gave me a dog. It was a Rottweiler French Poodle mix. It had a self-defeating attitude. Yeah, that dog had no self-esteem. He shaved his own rear end and taught himself to walk backwards. He hated himself so much that he marked his territory in the toilet. It was tough being a kid who owned a self-hating dog. The only game he liked to play was to throw the frisbee and fetch it past the invisible fence. As if that wasn't bad enough, when I was 4, my sister was 16, and she was really popular with the guys, her boyfriends. When they weren't hitting on her, they were beating on me. I got chased around, rode away on my bicycle, and then dunked in the toilet so much that my parents got me a decathlon t-shirt. I'm not saying that I'm scarred for life, but I flinch every time I walk through the door. And then I went to kindergarten. At the end of the year, the teacher gave me a certificate, just like all the other kids. Now Johnny, he got the most athletic. Jeffy got the most helpful. Julie got the best singer. I got the most sincere. That's code for the biggest bedwetter. It didn't get any easier when I got older either. I got glasses in the 2nd grade, but nobody ever made fun of me until I was in the 4th grade. They had too much of a backlog of other stuff to make fun of me about. Parents used to take their kids places, and the other parents would say stuff about the other kids like, "Oh, isn't she cute?" Or, "Oh, what a smart little boy." When they saw me, they just said, "Oh." I think Mom and Dad really loved me. They really tried to help me grow up and be more self-reliant. Mom used to have a fun game. She told me to pretend to have a different name, and then she dropped me off at the orphanage. Dad was great, too. He really tried to do things together as father and son. Why, he let me hold the electrical cord when he was fixing his boat one day. Pop was no genius, though. His idea of complex mathematical equations was computing a bowling score. He used to wear his pants really high, too. If he had worn them any higher, he would have had to unzip his pants to blow his nose. Eventually, I grew up to be a teenager. That was really tough. I had bad acne. People used to see me with my parents, and they would say, "You know, the Shriners Hospital has a really good burn unit." My breath was bad, too. I used to brush my teeth before meals to make the food taste better. Dating? I couldn't get action in a kung fu movie. Not even the ugly girls wanted to go out with me. They said they couldn't stand the idea of having really ugly children. Eventually, I joined the Marines, and they made a man out of me. I was the first Private Zero class ever in the Marines. Eventually, the Marines gave me a discharge. It wasn't honorable or dishonorable. It was, quote, in the interest of national defense. I was the only heterosexual discharged under the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. It wasn't easy for a guy like me to find a wife. I tried one of those computerized dating services. It came up with quite a few matches, but none of them would sign the disclaimer. And I thank you very much.